Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I had a nice war of words with Ryan from Happy Healthy Vegan today in his comment section, and I wanted to share the exchange with you all as it highlights one of the most prominent and overly used excuses that vegans use to slander and shame ex-vegans. Before we go any further, I want to remind you to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already, or do so before the end of the video if you are pleased with the content and would like to see more. Now, the place where this comment war went down was on his latest video titled, "Another Raw Vegan is no longer vegan and is now debunking veganism." He's referring to Dan Glass, aka Sunfruit Dan. And of course, Ryan is emotional and he's going to try and debunk Sunfruit Dan, who's an easy target, to be honest with you, because Dan does have a history of quite extreme dietary protocols as well as detoxing beliefs. But nonetheless, we're going to dive a little bit deeper, and I'm going to get right into the exchange that I had personally with Ryan. So it started off with me saying, "Hey Ryan, you dishonest human being, please answer the question. Tim Sheaf drank his urine because A, he felt terrible on his vegan diet and was seeking relief, or B, he decided it would be a fun experiment to drink his urine and his health declined afterward. You know the correct answer. Stop reporting otherwise and misinforming your large viewer base. Thank you." So the reason I wrote this to Ryan initially was because at some point in the video, he does acknowledge that Tim and some of these guys do pretty extreme things while trying to achieve a higher level of health on their diet. And it's well known, I interviewed Tim and talked to him many times. He did not do urine therapy because it was something that he just decided that would be a good idea one day. He was struggling very deeply on his diet. I met Tim in Hawaii. He had fungus growing out of his toenails, and he had many other hosts of things that were wrong with him. Now, on the surface, a vegan will look to Tim and think that he's some sort of aesthetic, athletic god. You know, he's on Ninja Warrior, he's winning these competitions, but internally, Tim wasn't feeling so good. And this is what the vegans don't understand. There's more than meets the eye. It goes beyond the surface level. Let's continue on in the conversation. Ryan does eventually respond to me, and he says, "Fasting, eating only fruit, etc. are not the vegan diet that any health organization or medical doctors recommend. So to blame a vegan diet for such health issues is incorrect and disingenuous. Plus, find me a doctor who will say that drinking urine for 2 years comes with no negative health effects. You know this. Yet you still falsely assert how horrible vegan diets are. Still waiting for my health and athleticism to fall apart 9 years in and at the advanced age of 52. So I'd like to make a personal note here. I do not support any of these extreme forms of the diet or detoxing methods. I don't personally subscribe to urine therapy, but then again, I don't think it's going to be super harmful either. I'm not going to really take a hard stance on that either way, but the main point here is to understand that people like Tim who go into something extreme like this, they're not doing so because they feel amazing. They're doing so because they want to achieve another level of health because they're not getting it on their current version of the vegan diet. You would expect that if the vegan diet was our natural state, was our natural diet, that it should be fairly easy to get our nutritional needs met and feel good and have energy. It shouldn't be something that we need to study day and night in order to achieve basic results. Yet people like Ryan, who seem to be achieving good results on his own, don't understand that other people might not have that experience. So I then come in with a response to his last comment, and I said, "Ryan, even if you have managed to last this long with good results," in quotation marks, of course, because vegans always think that their results are good, even though for some reason they don't own a mirror, they don't compare themselves to anybody else at their age, they don't actually compare themselves to how their performance was as a meat eater. Carrying on, it does not mean that others can. It does not matter what the literature says. The results of thousands or even millions of people who have attempted the 100% plant-based diet show otherwise. Why is this so hard to accept? When are you going to be honest and say, okay, not everyone can sustain themselves on a vegan diet and the number is actually larger than I thought? Just admit that because it is the truth. Like I said before, I'll be generous and say 50% of the population can sustain a lifetime on a vegan diet. What percentage are you willing to give me that they cannot? Now, of course, this struck a chord with Ryan, and unfortunately, he deleted the comment that he responded to, but I'll paraphrase it. It was something like, "Drew, you are a liar. You and all your ex-vegan friends experimented with extreme forms of the diet, including water fasting, fruit only, and urine therapy." End quote. And because of my response to that, I guess he deleted the comment. And unfortunately, I didn't have a chance to screenshot it. I find that kind of weasel-like and unfortunate because I'm in his channel, I'm in his lair. He has the upper hand there. There's people commenting to me. Of course, I'm exposing myself to all kinds of criticism by being there, and I'm trying my best to be as polite as possible. But in any case, I think the reason he deleted that was actually my response was just too much for him to handle. And what I said was, so you are telling me that a vegan diet is powerful enough to cure the nation's #1 killer and undo all previous damage done on an animal product diet, but it's not powerful enough to reverse the damage I inquired years prior as a vegan? Wow, that is monumentally stupid. Now, let me slow down here. I want to explain this comment to you guys. What did I mean by this? Well, basically what these vegans are saying is that if you go raw vegan for 30 days, or if you do a juice fast for 2 weeks, or if you do a water fast for a week, that this is going to somehow permanently damage and impair your system to the point where even a well-balanced vegan diet cannot go and undo that damage. It doesn't make any sense. You know, they tell you that if you're 40, 50 years old and you're suffering from heart disease, that you can jump on a vegan diet and it's going to cure you magically in short order. It's going to make you feel amazing. It's going to make you have energy. You're going to perform your best. But yet, if you do a water fast for a week, or if you do a juice fast, that somehow that's going to be the thing that doesn't allow the vegan diet to work correctly. It doesn't make any sense. So I continue on. I say, by the way, I never calorie restricted. Even on a juice fast, I still ate 1,800 plus calories a day. You are so arrogant. You think that 2 months experimentation out of a 4.5-year time span as a vegan is enough to give deficiencies and make me quit? Ryan, please. Now, I want to continue on here and elaborate further. I'm going to plug a bunch of pictures in of exactly what I ate, because a lot of these vegans, they've seen my videos. They still question what I ate. They still question the information that I give in my video a while back, where I actually show chronometer exactly what I ate, my high omega-3s. I've got most of my vitamins met, certainly more than most vegans, yet they're still calling me out. They're saying, hey, you did raw till 4 for 2 years. That's what actually ruined your system. That ruined your digestion. No, 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 no. Thank God I have all this stuff documented, and I actually have videos going back to my first year as a vegan where I specifically talk about my digestion still not being perfect. So luckily, I am time-stamped in the fabric of the universe, already being on record without a doubt, showing that I still was experiencing some issues, at least back then. So moving forward, I start to experience some criticism, of course, from people in his comments. They're asking me very specific questions. They're asking me if I saw a vegan doctor, a vegan nutritionist, if I took vegan blood tests, if I took, there's always these excuses. And a lot of people actually have gone through and done those tests and still received no benefit. Now, me personally, I did not. I did, however, study what the vegan doctors were talking about. I did study like things that Goji Men said, the nutritionists, the people that vegans are relying on that seem to tout them as these amazing gospel sayers. However, all of their recommendations are simply elimination diets, which I had already tried over the course of my 4.5-year vegan journey. And the thing is that none of those worked. I basically was running out of things to eat by the end. And I was eating beans and rice, and I was eating tons of cooked food. Ryan seems to think that for some reason I only ate fruit. And hopefully you guys can actually get a visual picture, because I know some of you vegans, you have learning disorders, and I'm going to show you exactly what I ate. You've seen it on chronometer. Now you're going to see it in pictures. And another thing I just want to throw in there is there's this massive shaming that's going on against ex-vegans from the vegan community. It's really pitiful. You guys don't see the DMs that I get on an almost daily basis now. Young women, 18 years old, 20 years old. I'm getting DMs from people in their 40s or 50s who, of course, some are fruitarian, some ate a well-balanced vegan diet, some followed Freely's advice, some followed Goji Man's advice. It doesn't matter. People are different, and they're going to fall apart on the diet, and it's very arrogant to think that one way is going to fit everybody. Unfortunately, because there's some large organizations now supporting the notion that a vegan diet is suitable for all stages of life. Note, by the way, it doesn't say optimal for all stages of life. I wonder why they chose that word suitable and not optimal, but we can get to that in a later video. They're thinking because it's suitable for all stages of life that somehow justifies it for absolutely every single person. That's not what that means. People have food allergies. There's all kinds of genetic differences in people, and maybe Ryan genuinely does feel good. Maybe he is actually performing at his best. I'm willing to give him that. I'm willing to give a vegan the benefit of the doubt. And this is something that the vegans will not give in return to anybody who's left the vegan diet. You know, it's simply, you're a liar or you did it wrong. It's really, really unfortunate. And again, they will not give out a number of how many people on this planet cannot do a vegan diet. They just won't do it. They won't even say 0.1%. They certainly won't say 1%, and they certainly won't get anywhere near the truth, which is probably more like 95% of the people on the planet cannot survive a lifetime on the vegan diet. And the reason why they will not do this is because as soon as they admit that even one person on this planet can't do it, then that exposes them to a whole host of criticisms. It basically blows open the argument to their entire ideology, and they have to keep this thing under wraps. And so this is why they resort to the character assassination, the lie, calling people liars. It's really pathetic, especially from a 52-year-old man, and especially a guy who deletes his comments. So anyways, I hope that you guys sort of get a kick out of this video. And it was impromptu. I didn't expect to make another video today, but I feel like it had to be done because Ryan from Happy Healthy Vegan is definitely a large channel, and he has a lot of influence. And of course, when you go in there and you go to the comment section, it's just a lot of people blowing smoke up each other's butts, and they're all supporting each other, and that's great. I love a supportive community, but guys, they are not actually looking at the people who are leaving the diet. It's almost like you're just thrown to the gutter. You're thrown in the trash as soon as you leave. You know, you could go fruit luck with Ryan. You could eat with him 7 days out of the week for 6 months. And as soon as you decide that it's not working for you, he'll still turn around and tell you that you did it wrong. It is actually amazing how these vegans operate. Not compassionate, not loving in my opinion, and it's really unfortunate. So again, like the video if you guys want to see more content, subscribe now, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.
And here comes a real steak. I mean, not real, it's still vegan, but just look at the texture of this thing. Wow. Just check this thing out. It's so huge. It looks exactly like steak. It doesn't make any, it feels like I'm cutting like a super tender piece of dead friends, but it's so weird. This doesn't feel right.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Wow. Feels like I'm having real meat. Do you like it?
As like I said, I feel like I'm getting a bad conscience.
Crazy.